Kendrick Lamar, yes, hip-hop certified boogeyman, just pulled off one of the most overrated Super Bowl performances that we've ever seen. But wait, because that's just my opinion, which I stand on, as it gets a little deeper, as there's been many correlations to the free world and to Drake during this performance that may have went over your head. The biggest gem of this performance was the lead up and anticipation towards Not Like Us. Will Kendrick play it? Will he name drop Drake? Will he call Drake a pedophile on live television in front of 130 million viewers? Well, he did.
Say Drake, I hate you like I'm young.
And Kendrick Lamar does get some praise and credit for dissing Drake on one of media's biggest stages, but there's something a bit controversial when it comes down to, because the biggest moment of your career being about another man still doesn't sit right with a lot of fans. Let's go through a thread of Kendrick Lamar references that the fans have made through the Super Bowl performance. The first thing shown was the color of the stadium, which is a direct reference to Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. Drake posted this picture, which is a picture of the angry bird when the beef started, to show that the beef had started, and Kendrick also makes the stadium red to show that he's about to destroy Drake. Now, I do feel this is kind of a reach because Drake posted this as saying that this is going to be his red button, which I do believe his red button was Family Matters, and I feel like that actually would have been a kill shot if Not Like Us didn't release within 12 hours later. And he even does have another song called Red Button from For All the Dogs, should I say. The next thing that happened was a square, circle, X, and triangle, which is a direct reference to PlayStation. Kendrick is a gamer, and he made the entire theme of the stage about that fact. You Kendrick meat munchers will believe anything. This has absolutely nothing to do with Kendrick being a gamer. I don't even know if this has anything to do with the Kendrick, should I say the Sony Music, or should I say Sony PlayStation, being down over the last couple days because you couldn't play the PS5. I'm trying to think and understand what correlation that this has. I don't know if Kendrick is saying that we're living a simulation, things are not real, he beat Drake of the game, because at the end of the performance, he had something that said game over. And even when it came up to the lead up of the Super Bowl, he had that video where you had the football coming out of the gun saying a championship is only one game and you only have one shot to win it, which kind of plays into this, but this is a reach. This is a reach. In the next part of the performance, Kendrick Lamar would have Uncle Sam, aka Samuel L. Jackson, as a callback to his album To Pimp the Butterfly. Now, when it comes to Pimp the Butterfly, which is, really good album that came out in 2015, most of the themes were classism, racism, things that go on in the black community of being black in America, which was heavily prominent through that album, should I say. And they had Uncle Sam, who pretty much narrated the different concepts of America. And in this Super Bowl performance, he used Uncle Sam to narrate being black in a black person America, with certain bars saying, what you want, a house or a car, 40 acres, a mule, a piano, and a guitar, anything, see, my name is Uncle Sam, I'm doing your dog. And this is talks about when slavery ended, a lot of black people were offered things, or not offered things, pledged to receive things. That every black person will get 40 acres and a mule. That's not happening. I'm sorry. I'm black. I love my people, but slavery didn't even happen that long ago. But America's not gonna really just admit that they were that wrong and give you 40 acres and a mule. But this was him, I guess, referencing how America's been so messed up towards black people. And I can't lie, this was actually a valid reference point that I will have to agree with. Kendrick opens up with the unreleased song to start, Stand on the Car, GNX, and this was the 1986 Buick, I believe, that was used on the cover art of his album GNX, which is also the name of his recent album. But also, GNX has a deeper meaning to it. It symbolizes authenticity to his roots and his culture from Compton. Now, we know Kendrick Lamar has always been someone from Compton. He reps it proudly. And in my personal opinion, I feel like the beef really brought out a whole other side. And it's almost like Drake saying that, you don't go back to your hood and plant any money trees. When he said that in Family Matters, all of a sudden Kendrick Lamar is, performing at the Compton colleges. He's doing gift backs. He's doing a pop-up party. And it seems like Drake really got Kendrick Lamar out of his shell, if you were to ask me. Now, when it comes to authenticity, I don't doubt Kendrick's authenticity to Compton or his hood, but I don't know what the car has to do with him being authentic to it. Maybe there's a backstory that I'm not aware of, but like I said, that seemed like a little bit of reach. So yeah. During this performance, there was multiple dancers who were wearing red, white, and blue. Now, according to this user on Twitter, the dancers in the show were all dressed in red, white, and blue. And at the beginning of the show, they performed Squabble Up, which is Kendrick, of course. You'll notice that they were all separated at a time. Until later in the show, they came together to form the United States American flag. After Squabble Up, Samuel Jackson pops back up and asks Kendrick Lamar to tighten up, which symbolizes the songs that Kendrick Lamar is playing in his performance at the Super Bowl are songs that he shouldn't, and asks him to play something more acceptable to the game. This was the dumbest shit that I ever read a part of this thread, because first of all these songs they're choosing for the track list are determined before. They probably did a rehearsal 2-3 times. This is a Super Bowl. People are spending big money on ads, big money to come to the game. You're not having a malfunction or not knowing what songs, who's singing what, who's dancing where, when it comes to the Super Bowl. So for you to say this, saying that, I don't know if you're trying to say that Samuel Jackson was like, oh, the songs you were singing aren't really that good, sing better songs, and now they went into more upbeat songs and uplifting and played humble. But this whole narrative right here is bullshit. These songs are chosen before they even sing it and perform in front of millions of people. And immediately after that, Kendrick Lamar plays Be Humble in the middle of the American flag, which is Kendrick saying he won't do the same acceptable thing. He'll do his own thing with his performance, and whether they like it or not, he will do his thing. How much are you Kendrick stans being paid to post this? Because first of all, when it comes to Super Bowl, and we've heard this multiple times, artists don't get paid for the Super Bowl because the NFL pays for the entire production. And the NFL knows the songs that's being played. Especially with this Drake lawsuit that came and happened, the NFL, and Apple Music had a lot of pressure put on them like, hey, do we let him perform this song? I mean, this song is really the whole reason why we even got him here, because it's made so much traction, it made so much money and attention. Why are we going to have him here and not perform the song? So for you to say that Kendrick Lamar was playing weak songs and Samuel Jackson said, hey, he plays better songs, and Kendrick Lamar said, hey, I'm in front of the United States American flag. I don't care if I'm American. I'm going to do what I want. What the hell? Also notice the part when Uncle Sam says, scorekeeper, deduct 1 point. Kendrick shows up in another shape of the controller themed stage, and he kept exhausting lives by playing against the rules of the game, singing songs he wasn't supposed to sing at. Nice touch. This person does not have a brain who made this breakdown, and I apologize because I gotta add my own 2 cents, which I was going to do anyway. The S, when Kendrick was switching the Luther to stands for SZA, it was just such an amazing way to introduce her to the stage. After All the Stars, which is a banger by the way with SZA and Kendrick, Uncle Sam comes back on and implies that Kendrick is starting to sing what is acceptable, and before he's done talking, the beat changes. Kendrick Lamar is about to start rapping Not Like Us, and his reaction says it all. Kendrick is not going to fold. The next thing that happened was Kendrick was being a genius. Remember earlier when Kendrick said I wanted to perform the favorite song, but they love to sue? He said he'd think about it, and after Uncle Sam and Kendrick went totally off the stage against the system. Kendrick Lamar teasing the performance of Not Like Us during other songs that started saying I want to play a song, but they might sue, was kind of funny and ironic because after Kendrick Lamar's performed this, I even think to myself, will Drake continue to go through with the lawsuit? Because he pretty much has to. This whole lawsuit and preamble and this prerequisite acquisition, which it was before not actually a lawsuit, was for Kendrick Lamar not to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. So now that he's already done it, does he drop the lawsuit? I feel like he doesn't because he's already invested so much time and resources into taking it to court. And the funny thing is, the same thing that obviously Drake is accusing Kendrick of doing, his label most likely did for him, but it hits different when you're in the midst of negotiating for a new deal, or should I say a new deal, and the people that you're supposed to be negotiating with, and in negotiation, what's best for you is worse for me, and vice versa, are taking the side of another artist so you can benefit you, or benefit them, should I say, when it comes to the new upcoming deal with you. Kendrick bringing Serena Williams on stage was another not conforming to the system move. Serena posted a video previously of her step walking, and the video got a lot of backlash, and Drake has also been seen disrespecting Serena Williams recently, so bringing her on stage was a straight swipe. Now I know Kendrick Lamar had a verse in the beef. We're talking about basically protecting Serena because Drake and Serena used to date. Now if you ask me, you have my top op and the girl I used to smash back in the day on a stage on a song about me, I would feel like the guy. But the thing is, though, that's kind of controversial is when it comes to Serena is Serena actually had a half sister that was killed by a Crip back in the early 2000s, I think, or maybe this is the 90s. I'm not entirely sure. But what I can say is her Crip walking on stage while her sister was killed by a Crip, half sister might add, is kind of weird. Like, you would think that gangs pretty much brought the family enough pain, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just saying that it's just ironic. Hopefully this is the end of everything, as Drake has been feeding communities for the past year. And that legendary line in the beginning, the revolution is being televised, he picked the right time, but the wrong guy. He referenced it again when he performed to turn his TV off at the end of the show, and then game over, the crowd is being shown. Kendrick Lamar is the GOAT.